good. Well, that's a good thing. It was a bad idea, but it got through somehow. Misaki quickly cut to the chase. Anyway, this is what I was going to say, but I think I found something suspicious. Suspicious? There are more places we can go into school than you might think. That's not surprising, since there's probably a lot of things that the mastermind in this plan are taking advantage of or want to hide. But the thing is, there are spaces that we can enter, but they're controlled so that we can't enter for a certain amount of time, which is weird. You mean the diner? That's right, I thought it was weird from the start and investigated it thoroughly. Although I couldn't find any direct evidence, I did notice one oddity. This means that the ingredients in the kitchen's warehouse are not restocked when someone is watching. For a deeper exploration, I ate a few apples and sat in the kitchen all day to spy on it. You know how pantries are always full of fresh products? While I was watching, the apples were never restocked. I had to leave at 10 PM and the next morning at 9 AM, I walked in and it was already full. I'm guessing they're running nighttime broadcasts because they don't want to show the process to the students, which is fair enough. Especially where those ingredients are coming from. Are they farming? If so, the school is a closed environment. Exactly, there's no such environment in the space as we know it. A space that is not yet public or will never be public, or maybe external. It's coming from one of the three. Either way, a blackout is something we don't want to be seen at this point, and the grocery warehouse could be in that passage. Of course, there are rules for vandalism, so the cover blocking the passage cannot be peeled off with force. It is unlikely that it will come off in the first place. We found a way through. Now it's a matter of how to get through. Is it too much of a grandiose statement? Is this a good idea? I don't know if I can say this, but it's at least expected from high schools or elementary. Jailbreaking? It's okay. It's pure praise in any context, so why not? Well, why don't we get out of here now? If we hang around too long, that bear might get a hold of us and pop out again. That would be nice. It was still a little cramped being the only two in a small space. I stood up and grabbed the handle of the shower door. It's nice being in a wide area. It's been quite some time since we've been in the room. Do you want to stay a little longer? Although it is hard to get comfortable in here. It's okay. It's a place I'll probably never visit in my life, but I'll take it as an experience. Don't you know, life, you can be a murderer and arsonist before you know it, just like me. Listening to Misaki's amusement, I hardened my resolve. Misaki. You're calling me out of the blue? What's up? I cannot wait to hear it any longer. You know the thing you said while you were wiping your tears? I couldn't dodge the unexpected palm this time. Like I said, control your force. I told you to forget it. I'd be very embarrassed if you brought it up. If you tell me when I'm throwing a tantrum, I honestly don't have anything to say to that. Of course I know what you're talking about. I cannot be a leader and not remember that much. Where to begin with? While I was still rubbing my tingling back, Misaki looked into my eyes and continued her story. To be honest, my first impression of you was that you seemed pretty unapproachable. Now maybe he's still the same. He's not reticent, but he doesn't change his expression. He's cold and he's serious about everything. It was a different feeling to be around students like Ego, Justin, and Jumanji. At first I had no idea how to get to know you, and I was almost glad that you reached out to me first. But somehow, you're not one to shy away from communication, and you actually wanted to know more about me. I should have felt bad on my end for passing the buck. As I listened to Misaki, I recalled my first conversation with her. I'd love to hear more about you. Is that okay? Misaki looked over with a bitter smile. I've made a mistake. I was just rambling a little bit, but it's a little embarrassing to be so straightforward like that, Miyuki. Oh, I see. I apologize if that was sensitive. I thought it was just a little slip-up in the middle of the otherwise good conversation, but it turns out I've been paying too much attention to it in reverse. Shame on me for remembering that. You're also great at telling jokes and worrying about unexpected situations. I think being labeled as an ultimate jailbreaker and taking on a leadership role has made me a little more nervous. I can't believe I was looking at this student through sunglasses, and I'm so sorry for my first mistake as a leader. Were you always this way, or is this a bit of a cheeky idea? But has something changed since you've been talking to me? Does it really matter? So she meant that. That's not really something to apologize for. There's not a lot of trust in me, and as a leader, it's not a bad thing to be vigilant for the good of the majority. You've done a good job. Look at you, you're so good at reading people's minds. How dare you? I think you should do the Dugeza right now. Get to it. Don't do this, please. I had a brief argument with Misaki, who was standing up and getting me ready to do the Dugeza. You're too flabby for your stature, Miyuki. You'll need to develop more strength if you want to sit me down. It's not like I'm going to spend all my time on this. Don't underestimate my limits, because I can still do more. Wait, Misaki, my posture. Thump. I was standing in an unsteady position, struggling, and when Misaki pushed me, I lost my center and fell to the tatami floor. Misaki was holding my wrist, came with me. It looked like as if she had jumped on me. Or is it? Did I get hit? Weak, you're weak. You can't use your power like that. Meekly admit defeat. Ow, the back of my head. What kind of judo is this? It's judo you can do to throw people on the tatami floor, although I never learned it. Anyway, you lost to me, but you don't seem to like it, so I won't dodge you, because I'm generous. You bastards, you can't resist the urge after all. There's a camera here. Hey, get the hell away, now! I've been teasing you for a while now. Yeah, up to that Dugeza stuff. I must be a blessed leader to have such thoughtful individual trusting me. I promise you, I will protect you with everything I have, until the day we escape this academy, or until the day I die. There was no way I couldn't agree more. I didn't need any qualifications to respond, because I'd already heard her heart. I'll take you up on that promise. I'll give you my back without hesitation, and I hope you'll give me yours. Yeah, if that's what you want. You're in a bad position. Get up. Misaki said this and held out her hand to me. When I took her hand and pulled myself up, she plopped down on the bed in the corner and patted herself on the shoulder. Seriously? I've seen you already enter, but you can't come over? That's a weird way of phrasing it. I approached Misaki's side without a word and granted her wish. Her deltoid muscles are highlighted, but her shoulders, which are surrounded by soft skin, brush against my cheeks. Misaki's bare skin, cool and exposed, but untouched by anything but her hands. I suddenly heard a pounding sound. I've always loved this feeling, the feeling that someone is counting on me, leaning on me, seeing me as a solid wall. I might feel arrogant. Holding the future of a collective in your hands is not something to be discussed in the realm of mere symbols and numbers. Nevertheless, as I said, I will serve the collective until I am no longer needed or until I lose myself. And that goes for the individuals as well. I can hear her voice muffled in one of my ears. She was close enough that it was pointless to measure her distance, but I couldn't look her in the eye. I decided to close my eyes. Of course, you're a great member of the group I'm currently leading, so it's natural for me to pay attention. Yeah, you've been on my mind. Is this just an extension of how I've been watching you, or is it something you've accomplished on your own? Something accomplished on my own. Was there something I could do for her that I didn't think would help her in any way? Well, it doesn't matter either way. All that matters is now. The pounding never stops. Misaki continues to tickle my ears regardless of my mind. I don't want to open my eyes again. I'll stake my future on yours. I'll make sure that no threat can reach you, even if it breaks this one body. Yeah, I'll be your leader. Misaki and I are now facing the same direction. Afterward, I spent some more time chatting with Misaki. I felt a connection with Misaki that I don't think I could have got it any closer to. Hell yeah! Free time events we completed. What skill did we get? Thanks for that. Gain skill spreader. Oh, cool. Went back to my private room. Awesome. Yeah, increased movement, but that won't help me in the trials. Oh, it's nighttime. God damn it. Returned to my room at the end of the day. I still had plenty of time before nighttime, but the thought of another meeting wasn't in my mind. I'm getting tired. The relief that came the way was of the most unexpected kind. What? Who's that? Huh? Who's at the door? I don't have a clue. Well, you gonna answer that or what? Walked up to the door, paying close enough attention, and twisted the handle. Yeah. What the hell? Iwata. Yeah, it's me. You might be wondering, why is this person on your doorstep? When I nodded, Iwata pointed his finger at me. What the hell was that? What? The music was weird at that part. When I nodded, Iwata pointed his finger at me, or more accurately, at my private room beyond me. Can we talk inside? I don't think I can talk to you in front of the door. Well, we technically can. And just so you know, I'm not here to kill you, trust me. I'm not carrying anything dangerous. Well, I don't know if that's convincing coming from the guy who made all that deal. I'm curious to know what you've come to talk to me about. I wish you could keep it simple. Huh? That's an apology, of course. As I said, I was being too hard on you guys. Did you suddenly have a change of heart? Actually, I saw you. Oh. I saw a bit of your clothes lightly and disappeared the moment the door was opened. And then my attention was immediately drawn to Misaki and the rest of the guys, so I kind of forgot about that. Why was Miyuki avoiding me, even though he's right there? Was he up to something? I thought about it for a while, and I came up with an answer. The conclusion was that you disappeared to reassure me. You're right, I had no choice but to act the way I did because I'd already heard from you how I was perceived. Now that I've changed my mind and decided to join you guys, I think I owe you an apology for that. I realize that, but this is not because I trust you. Don't worry, I know, and I accept your apology. We reached out and grabbed each other's hands before anyone could say who was first. So I guess we've settled everything at the door. Do you want to come in now? I was afraid you would say no to that. Okay, I owe you one. My free time event. And then Hiroto set foot in my private room. So then, what do you want to talk about? I actually didn't come in with that in mind. What's the big deal? It's just a normal high school conversation. Let's say, for example, your favorite thing. Then should I begin? I love video games, especially those with action elements like ARPGs, platformers, and FPSs. One of the most fun games I played recently was Nier Automata. Haven't played it. I don't care for big AAA games. It's been out for a while and I passed on it because I didn't think it would be my cup of tea, but when I bought it on Steam sale, I realized I lost half my life, lol. The Last of Us Part 2, which I was really looking forward to, was a royal disappointment, you don't say. But you never know until you watch something. So you like those? Well, I don't know much about it. I guess the memory loss thing wasn't just an influence. You don't even know what you like or what you don't like. I've thought about it myself, but the pattern is pretty complicated. Wanna hear it? Of course I'll listen. We're partners here. I guess it will come out like this. Cleared my throat. Well, great, okay. Likes and dislikes are the domain of emotions rather than memory, so they're untouched. We're talking about likes and dislikes for a concept. I can answer that. For example, I love cats and hate bitter. Love books, hate cold weather. I like local mascots like the blue guy. That chilling memory flashed through my mind. Anyway, it's kinda like that, but if you're asking me what I like and what I don't like, it's a little hard to pinpoint. It's one thing to ask me what I like or dislike in my memory, it's another to ask me what I like or dislike now. The former is harder because the memories are gone, but the likes and dislikes remain. The latter is a matter of creating a new memory for the remaining likes and dislikes, which is fine. That's a really hard one. I can barely make sense of it. Yeah. Do you love cats, books, or local mascots? What do they have in common? That's just an example. I could go on and on. Then you can't talk about individuals. It's just a one-man show. I'm sorry I brought you to my private room for this. Is there anything else we could talk about? Well, maybe. Even if you don't have any memories, you only have memories until you got to the school, so you can't talk about the school, right? Why are we stuck here? Why are we being subjected to this? It's such a vague topic. There's so much we don't know that it's hard to have a meaningful conversation about it. Kidnapping students to play a game of murder is all too unfamiliar. I don't think any common sense or rational mind can come up with a good answer. Yeah. But you never know. A situation that seems completely ridiculous at first glance may have a surprisingly rational conclusion. The bottom line is, we don't know. It's in just one sentence. I thought you had something in mind when you said that. There's a whole bunch of real geniuses in the school that aren't doing anything, and what do I know? I just threw it out there. But I don't want to be bent to his will anymore. If I'm being honest, I'm still so anxious that I want to know more, because anything is good. Can we really survive at this rate? Is our fate already sealed and we're the only ones who don't know it? Oh, negative thoughts again. Sorry, Miyuki. I'm making myself sound weak. Now, it's perfectly understandable to feel insecure when you're in the position of being not useful. I don't think you need to suppress that anxiety. If anything, I'm at fault for bringing it up. I could tell you wouldn't like it, but I didn't think fast enough. Thank you, Miyuki. I don't know if I should say this, but you seem like a nicer person than I thought. I thought the same thing. It took a while because we didn't see each other much and the conversations we did were pretty intense, but I think we got all our worries out of the way. Well, I was being a bit harsh. Let's forget about it. I even got an apology, which I deserved. What do you say? Iwata smirked and held out a fisted hand.
Yosh.
Good luck to us. Of course. Awesome. So our free time event went to this guy? Fist to fist. That was the end of the story for the both of us. Is this some foreshadowing? No, really. Okay. Of course I understand where you're coming from. We've all seen those videos, and it's hard not to get upset. Try to calm down. I'm thinking about it right now too, and I want to curl up in the corner and curse the world. But why are the three of us, Tsubaki, Shinano, and me, gathered at the door of your private room? It's because the very act of being stuck is dangerous. I didn't want to put any pressure on you, but there's no denying that this is a crossroads. You hold not only your life, but ours in your hands. So please, use your best judgment. Running away is no longer an option. Cool. Now that I've changed my mind and decided to join you guys, if I've been rude to you and I owe you an apology, where's your character portrait? Of course you know, this isn't about trusting you. Of course I know, and I accept your apology. Oh, this is Iwata's POV, I think. Okay. In the end, I opened the door I had locked, choosing to walk with them. I definitely have no regrets about my decision to take a chance this time. My focus should be on what's coming next, and not on my own feelings. The current time was just a few minutes away from 9 p.m. Still another hour before the alarm goes off, but that's no reason to stay awake. I wonder if I should go to bed earlier than usual. Sure, why not? Again? It's Kuzo again. I got out of bed and went to the door. Yep. Hey there. As I called it, Kuzo was standing in front of the door. But not only her. Are you well, Mr. Iwata? How does it feel to be new Hirudo? Refreshing and great? What? Come on now, you're the only one who needs to go out. What's this all about? That's for later, just come already. Is the bathroom open? What? As I finished speaking, Misaki tugged on my wrist and dragged me out of the room. Okay. What's this all about? No, wait, I'm not moving until you explain. What the hell is going on? What are you guys doing? Well, it can't be helped. Let me explain then. Excuse me, do you mind if I explain? Hey, I told you to call me Misaki. Oh, I never called anyone outside of my family by their first name, so I made a mistake. Sorry. Now you don't need to apologize at all. You want to do it yourself anyway? That would be great. Yeah, thank you. The director stepped forward and with her usual cheerful expression began to talk. I actually felt a bit helpless after what happened this morning, unable to do anything about it in the face of the darkness. But I have no intention of sitting on the sidelines because I personally believe in the strength of music. And about 10 minutes ago, I went to Miss Misaki's private room to make a proposal. A little concert. Uh-oh. You all know where that goes. A concert. I think I got it. It will literally be a little concert, though. Since I'm the only music major, it's going to be a cello recital, but the cello's rich tone can work in any situation. I have a lot of recital experience, so I'm confident. Isn't it great to think about using your talents to shake things up? I'm thankful. It is what I do for a living. So we were searching left and right, looking for people to organize a concert together. First, Mr. Shinano, after talking to Misaki, I've come to the conclusion that he's indispensable for something like this. Leave the event stuff to me. To Miss Fukuoka, I asked if I could borrow some of her talents, but it didn't work out. I originally wanted to bake bread and sweets for a tea party, but I realized that we didn't have any flour in the kitchen. How could that be? But since I've given away the secret, I figured one person's share was enough. Secret? Come to think of it, I didn't explain that. It's a secret from all the other students. We're the only ones who know. It's supposed to be a surprise, and the best way to make it exciting is to keep it a secret. There are 5 of us. So why did you call me? There are plenty of other students. Why me? I thought this was the most obvious opportunity. The perfect opportunity to convince your students that you've changed. Is it really Iwata, the douchebag who's been holed up in the corner of this room? I'm feeling really excited. Can you feel it? Mr. Shinano, you can't call your friend a douchebag. It's not polite. Oh, that was just a joke. It's okay, Tadara. I'll take it. Moving on, what am I supposed to do? You know I got in by lottery. I have no talent. You don't have to be talented, right? The fact that you're helpful is all that matters. Alright then, that's enough chatter in the middle of the hallway, and get to the venue. There's a place the Dyer suggested to me. Do you want to come with me? Okay. Okay, then follow me. Make sure you don't get spotted. Gym? Of course the gym. Where else could that be? It's not like we're gonna make a concert in the infirmary. Wait, oh, classroom? Okay. I thought the gym was the most obvious place. Okay. Is everything okay here? Actually, it's the best place for it, isn't it? You don't want a room that's too spacious and the sound spreads, but you also don't want a room that's too small to accommodate 16 students. There are also a lot of chairs available, so you can reduce the amount of preparation. Oh, did you even consider that? I guess you're an expert. I'm flattered. I see it a lot when I go to concerts, so it's natural for me to realize that the condition of the concert hall has a big impact on the performance. If so, I'll leave it up to you to do anything directly related to the performance. I've never had such a noble hobby, so I'm completely out of the loop. Don't say that. Classic is not that tricky. So let's just make this a conference room and have a meeting. Take a seat. Take a seat. Okay, but it sounds a little dreary in here. On the contrary, the wood that made up the floor of the classroom was quite deteriorated, and the creaking was quite audible whenever I walked on it. No matter how much I tried to move, I couldn't stop it from sounding. I'm going to have to ask you to refrain from moving when I play. I'll remember. So let's start planning how we're going to do this concert. How many songs are you going to play, Tadira? I think it's probably going to be about 4 songs. I'd love to play 10 if I were motivated, but we're going for a small concert feel. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's better to keep it short and bold. What are you thinking of playing? I have in mind Bach's unaccompanied cello suites and Beethoven's cello sonata, which are biblical when it comes to cello music. I'd also like to play Schumann's cello concerto in A minor, a personal favorite. And this is a bit greedy, but I really want to try Bach's aria in G this time. It's not that I hadn't played it before, but I had a piano accompaniment. I've been wanting to get together with a few people I know and play a solo sometime, and this is the perfect opportunity. What does everyone think? I don't really know what you're saying, so I'll just stay surprised. I've never even heard of the title, so I can't comment on it. I apologize. Oh dear, I got carried away and rambled on. Sorry. There's no reason for you to apologize. It's our fault for being uncivilized. No, common sense dictates that you should know aria on the G line. Don't you know this famous one? Nope. Fukuoka, I heard you studied abroad in France, so maybe you're a little different. Bach, Beethoven, and Schumann were all German. It doesn't really matter. Miss Fukuoka, you know your stuff. Are you interested in the classics? I sometimes play it when I'm coming up with recipes. I don't dig deep, but I do enjoy some of the more famous pieces like aria on G string. Or maybe you meant to say air on G string because that makes more sense. That's the piece that I'm familiar with, and I'm particularly fond of Mussorgsky's these days. Oh, Mussorgsky is another favorite of mine. I'd love to have an in-depth conversation with you about pictures at an exhibition. You're closer to each other than I realize. We've already had a shallow interaction, so you know what I'm talking about. You should have made a friend. I'm also conducting interviews with students in my spare time with their permission. It's hard for viewers not to love an interview with an ultimate student, isn't it? Partly because it's something I'm personally interested in. Maya would have butt-kicked you for sure. Jumonji rejected me as a nuisance. I couldn't even talk to Iwata, and Tadara was nowhere to be found. Yeah, what the hell was that? Come to think of it, Tadara, I don't see much of you either. You just eat and go straight to your private room? Not for any particular reason. I'm a bit of a shy person. In my free time, I always practice in my private room. It's soundproof, and I can't think of a better place to practice. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I see. Can we do an interview later? Hey, this is a long local broadcast. Save the personal stuff for later. If it's 3 out of 5 people talking, it's not a local broadcast, it's a Tokyo broadcast. Anyway, let's get back to business. So how many days, when, and where do we want to open it? I can't wait for this. Why don't we just open it tomorrow? Let the performer decide the time. I don't think it's feasible to start early in the morning. I need to practice a few times, and in case something goes wrong, lunch seems like a good time. Why don't we start at 1 p.m.? Instead, rehearsal starts as early as 8 a.m. I'll be ready to play at any time after. Oh, what's this? You guys are getting motivated. That's a good attitude. If I can give you strength for this performance, it'll be a great opportunity. There's no reason not to do it every once in a while. Cool. Motivated. I saw the conversation continued for a while. Wait, Hiroto said that? That's weird. So the most important place setting is a weather. Oh. Broadcast. Well. School announcement 10 p.m. Diner will be locked and off limits. It's quite the loud alarm, no matter when you hear it. Wow, it's already that time. I didn't even notice. You don't have to sleep now, do you? I'm not sure if you're going to sleep at 10 p.m., but I'm not going to sleep yet. Tadira, are you asleep? Oh, I apologize. Because of the atmosphere, I've been on an early bedtime routine. Oh. Then why don't we end it early for the sake of the performers? But you have to sleep with everything you have to decide. Right now, starting tomorrow morning. If you're quite tight, you won't have much time, won't you? I'll do it. Placing the settings all on you? Call it setting the scene, Tadira. Do you want me to move and clean our desk as you told us in advance? It's simple, it's manual labor. It doesn't require talent or anything. And I'm probably the most labor person here, aside from Misaki. Hey now, what's with you today? You've been quite nice, really. Misaki then patted me on the shoulder. I was sitting in the front row. She's definitely stronger than me.
Yes.
Come to think of it, it was also the debut of new Hiroto, right? Okay, since Hiroto is so motivated, I'll leave the organizing to you. I told you not to call me that.
Yes.
Don't let the public go cold. From now on, this will turn into a music venue. Mr. Shinano, you can't call Mr. Iwata as part of the public. Mr. Iwata may have been lucky enough to get in, but he's technically a student here now. Huh? Oh no, I wasn't pointing at Hiroto. I was just kidding. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Huh? Is that the name of someone I don't recall? Wow, what am I going to do with this culture gap? You're too much of a lady, Tadara. You should do an interview with me. I'll get back to you later. So, Hiroto, when do you want to come and clean up? Right now? Nah, I'll do it in the morning. I'm a little tired right now. My alarm goes off at 7 a.m., so why don't I come out half an hour earlier and get organized? Pretty sure I'll be done before 8 a.m.
Yes.
6:30 a.m. Okay, so we'll have to do some access control before 8 a.m. Leave that to me. I'll even give you some publicity. That's right, Kotori would just need to add a few decorative touches to the place setting that Hiroto prepared. Okay, I'll do something for it. Sounds perfect on paper, right? This is a group effort. This is the hope side. Hiroto, just a reminder, don't make too much noise. Someone passing by might see what you're doing. That's okay, I'm not doing anything to make a big deal about it.
Yes.
Good, then. I think we're going to call it a day, so make sure you're on time. Cool. I never contributed. With that preliminary preparation, all the students went back to their private rooms. The first thing I did was lie down on the bed. That place setting, I decided not to think too much about it. Oh, my back. Next, please. It's still night. Oh, morning. Yawn. For some reason, I feel like I had a pretty sweet sleep last night. Let's wash first. You gonna wash? Alright. Yeah, we washed. I wonder. Wait, what's that thing? I looked at my watch and it was still a little before 7 a.m. I'm not really sleepy, so why don't we wait in front of the diner and eat? What is this? Oh, nothing. Let me just save here. Boop, boop, boop. Just in case we're done with file 2, let's override file 1.